Yo, what's up everybody? Brad for Show back again with another animation breakdown. Today, we're going to be looking at the newly dropped multi-universe Jason Voorhees. Multiversus just reopened its doors back from a long hiatus of about 2 years. Multiverse is back with a vengeance, bringing old JJ and all of his villain friends with him. We got the Joker, Agent Smith, Jason Voorhees is the new blood on the block. I friggin' love the look of this universe. It kind of reminds me of an old Disney Infinity style that's long been forgotten. Man, Jason Voorhees, we haven't seen this cat, I'm gonna say over 10 years? The last movie, 2009-ish? Something like that? Oh, that's right, the video game. Almost 5 years since we've ever seen or heard from this guy. Friday the 13th video game where you and your friends can play online as the victims running away from Jason. He's come back from Camp Crystal Lake to kick some ass. Really stoked to see how this guy plays, what he looks like, his move list. We're gonna break it down animation style. Anyway, let's cut to the gameplay. Sorry, I've been drinking. All right, let's rip it. All right, got some freight train action. He's a bulldozer. So he's got 2 weapons. Gotta love the look of him. Still 3-hit combo. Ooh, he's got props. Stomp, like your mother said. Oh no, not Gizmo. Nah, cute little Gizmo. Let him down. Oosh. Many a kills by that upward stab. 6 feet under. Cute. He's got Nightcrawler abilities. No escape. Oh, and it drags behind on his hatchet there. Nice. That is dope. And it holds the victim too. Oh, Morty. I'm sorry, Rick. Air misstep. Rising up a Schwarzenegger. It'd be funny if you could actually say that. Down and out. That's a cool one. I see everything named Relentless nowadays. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm starstruck, jumping inside, feeling like a kid again, running from the theater, running from TV, my dad trying to scare me by putting on a Jason mask, and especially how they redesigned him too. They could go with the classic bipedal, similar proportions, looking very straight and abstract too, but they didn't. You know, like big fists, huge torso, so nicely dense shaped boots, and just a small little Beetlejuice head right there. Chain is a nice element too. But yeah, very Disney Infinity, Wreck-It Ralph looking pose, but with a WB twist. One thing I really enjoy seeing is just how characterized these guys are. Forget your normal classic fighting games, which everything is. Proportions are straight, weight is distributed evenly. We're in Looney Tunes land, so gravity and physics mean absolutely dick. And as you can see here, the way that Jason already takes off, his whole body just goes into one angle. All that weight gets transferred over through this run attack. He's very broad, huge square, immovable object, huge force, and they're carrying it through with that run cycle as well. The top portion of the body doesn't really move or bend at all, but the bottom portion is just booking with these giant stomps. So we got like a nice good wind-up charge attack here, which is really awesome. The cool thing about this character is that he's so top heavy. Everything's so dense, bricky, muscular. You know, they're really taking the time to utilize these character designs into the animation and into the posing too, which is always a clever thing to do. Sometimes the design of the character can incorporate choices when it comes to animating the character, moving from A to B, how they would act, how they would react. Sometimes the design can actually affect the animator's choices too. We see this giant come to a stop. Weight gets distributed on the top of it. And notice that even when he's squatting too, his stubby little legs are pretty much engulfed by this giant body. Kind of like Roadhog in Overwatch when he's got this huge body, these little stubby legs, but he's got to crouch. So where are those legs gonna go? Interesting. I didn't even notice that the character had a turnaround there. Oh, and he switches blades. Look at that. Character in profile from left to right, usually whatever blade or design the character is looking at. Animators usually try to keep that same silhouette and that same thing going from left to right. Oh, and it usually changes over one frame. In this case, I didn't even notice it until I frame by framed it. And then we get into the axe slam here. You're really outlining the body. There's a complicated side, which is over here, versus a clean side, which is very, very good silhouette readability, and also drawing attention to where the force of the character is actually going to as well. Really, really nice little touches there. Machete morphs into the axe as he goes through it. Well, I love these Looney Tunes physics, because nothing has to make sense as long as it looks good. Not really a fan of too much of this hand grip on the hatchet pose right there. I think they could work that out just a little bit more, kind of bring the closer together and bring the thumb, and then bring the thumb out just a little bit more at the bottom there, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Looks like the thumb comes from the bottom part and pokes out a little bit. Also too, like as he's coming in, the foreshortening of the arm right there, I'm not too big of a fan of that, although I do understand why, just to keep this line of action clear. Would be cool if they could actually rotate the elbow out just a little bit more to kind of get more of a, you know, anticipation into the swing. But I totally get what they're going for, because probably the wrist isn't bent to do that. What's going on right there? Look at this steppy time step that he's happening right now. Looks like a command sync right there, where the lower body is usually working on the movement of the character. The character stops to a standstill, then progresses when the character is moving. There's probably like a little blend glitch in there that's causing that, but I caught that the first time I watched it and I was like, what is that? Body connects. I would like to see, like right through here, these two frames between the leg stepping, I would like to see a little bit more contact a little bit earlier, because normally like when you make contact with the ground, the weight can distribute after and then start to bend, as we see here, to really enforce that weight coming down. No big deal, but just like 1 or 2 frames of that can add a whole bunch of difference when it comes to the impact of this frame. But I love this little recovery as he takes his time and puts his so-called Bugs Bunny axe behind him and pulls out his machete too. Nice little character touch there. And I love just the deadpan staring as he looks at his victim down the fight line. Doesn't need to move at all. That's what makes him creepy. Let's see what else we got. All right, nice little double slash there. The throw did feel kind of stiff. Let's see. Nice little step attack, poor Shaggy. Again, notice the giant heavy angle of Jason. That's what I love. He's like very top heavy. And then we come to the grab right here, which is very interesting. An outstretched arm is usually a really hard thing to pull off when getting the character victim body to connect properly. So of course we don't really see the connection until after the grab has occurred. Jason's got a very unique way of throwing characters too. Like normally he reads pose to pose with a little bit of follow through. Jason tends to hit a pose, holds the hand in what we call world space, then changes his direction while having this hand still here and using this anticipation. Very interesting choice of using the smear right before the throw. The animators like seem to really be moving only a certain amount of parts of his body as he's throwing. As we see this hand hold here, the body comes forward and he goes to a very striking pose, very strong, readable throw pose. And then when he comes to his let go animation right here, notice how the body stays completely still and then the arm takes over after. We get one small frame of readability, which I think threw me off. It felt almost like an attack instead of a throw. And then the rest of the frame goes through as he's following through. And then Jason hits a pose, solidifies his pose, and doesn't really have any follow through. I'm guessing that's kind of the style that they're going for, which is a unique choice too. But I think with adding a little too much stop and start into this throw just kind of makes it feel very broken. Or at least a few frames where he doesn't stop his arm and at least add a little bit more follow through. I love this attack coming up. An actual death in the movie, by the way, too, where he folds somebody up. In order to do a kill, they made this into attack. So damn clever. You know, nice little flip-flop, squash and stretch on the bed here. I've seen this pose before. This is straight up from the poster, Friday the 13th, 2009. You gotta love that silhouette pose where Jason faces us, looks up, uses that giant profile as literally a target, pointing this way, pointing this direction. Chomp. Feels so good. I almost wonder if as he comes up, he might bring out the elbows. I almost feel like he would bring it up like this, but I totally get why they did it. They want more of this angle as he goes up, which is still a great choice in my opinion. We want to see more of how the bed is reacting, and more importantly, where is the hit taking place. And now he pulls the machete out from the back. Very nice classic Leonardo animation right there. Traction of the machete. Intense to very careful and very smooth animation. This is really great. I love how they're really taking advantage of this attack. You have a little bit of anticipation. You have a little bit of weight shift. Now that I notice it, I didn't even realize that Jason's eyes change expression right there. His helmet is total Deadpool. The eyes change shape and expressions too. That's totally cool. As the foot comes down, they scale it up just a little bit too. Very, very Battletoads-like. I really wish that as his foot would come down, like they would really go to town with the tuniness of it and really make like a giant foot that they could squash and stretch as he comes in. I think they could really play around with that too, instead of letting the effects take over. Because it's like the more you hit the character, the more I would love to see the victim really get slaughtered by this too, because it's just such a great pose. Really, really awesome as he comes back to a recovery. Might just want to pull this fist out just a little bit more silhouette, you know, to get it out there, but I still dig it either way. What your mama says, stomp. Okay, next, scoop and slice. How even through like one simple jump, we cut directly into the pose. And there again with his eye change, he goes from happy innocent Jason to pissed off Jason too. Almost is that Clancy in his helmet? You can't unsee this. Really badass pose here. I love how they're using these hard curves throughout the silhouette too, and I love how he's facing directly towards the camera. Nice line of action right here too, and notice how they come down. Usually the attacks hit first, followed by the gravity afterwards. Quick note on smears, usually they start where the attack ends, so right around this spot, this is where the swipe starts, followed by the new axe, which we can't unfortunately see by this nice little marquee right here. Will also take over after the last point of the axe is, followed by the swipe to give you that nice line of action readability too. Notice how the angle of the legs change during the swipe from left to right. It would be nice to see a little bit more rotation of the axe coming this way. That way you just take the blade and kind of torque it a little bit more over to Jason. Love how you're really broadening the shoulders right there, getting the hands up. Getting the hands up through the body. Maybe if they brought this axe tip out just a little bit more, you know, and not coming out of his face too, we could see a little bit more of how this hand is gripping this pose. So this is where we're faced with the back of Jason. Has a big wind up, big anticipation. Blade comes out. They probably could have actually added the blade a little bit through here using this swipe to get like some more angle. Same thing when he comes around here to keep that angle going, but really they surprise you from the other side as well too. I would have added a little bit more angle with this arm too as he's coming out. That way you can get like that sweet line going out through here. Then again, we end in this pose to where he's kind of whirlwinding out. This is interesting too, so he's floating in air through here. Okay, that's right, normal air side. I'm an idiot. This is really cool. I love the darts in this too. They really pop out, happening over one frame and then holding for about 5 or 6 frames in order to create that impact. Nice good stretch of anticipation there. Notice how the machete is secluded in this area. Goes back 1, followed by head leading the attack, charging back up. So as the machete is going down, his head and chest are driving upwards. Do one anticipation attack, and then within 1 frame, bam, and hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for about 3 or 4 frames from here to there, and hold that frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 frames. Holding 3 and holding 7, that breaks up the texture of the double tap, but yet still holding it enough to feel powerful over a 1 frame movement. And I love the amount of distance and pose change as he squashes to stretching. It's an animation principle that you could actually utilize on these characters to make effective movement. 6 feet under. See, this is some stylistic, dynamic animation. It's got the nice tilt and twists. Got all these hard angles, pushing this way, pushing the other way. This nice arc change that we got from here to there. This is where you get the most force when it comes to doing attack animations, which I'm always telling my students to watch these C arcs changing from one heavy arc to the other arc too. It's where you get the most effective type of force movement that you need. Down movement, which is really cool, actually accelerate JJ on this little pivot cycle right here too, which gives him a nice turn, and then we get some nice, beautiful follow through. Now, the only thing that I would really do to add some more life to this pose too is that I see this nice follow through, but then when I see these fist poses or these hand poses just stay in one pose and don't really do anything, it just feels so static to me. Like, at least take the knuckles and curl them up a little bit or drive them in just a little bit more to give them a little bit more life through there, but yet an effective move. Interesting pose this first frame is right there. It almost looks like he's going to do a face reveal, like grabbing the mask right there. That would be so sick if there was like one frame of animation where he actually demasked himself. Been a cool Easter egg to discover on a frame by frame breakdown animation video, wouldn't you say? Cut from this frame to this frame. Pose change between a block with triangle would be like super effective. Of course, he's got his teleportation too. Nice, simple, and effective too. I kind of felt something when I saw this, but I didn't realize how much twitching he's doing before he gets into it. Check this shit out. He goes from profile to opposite profile to turning and then back to standing up again. It's like 4 poses, like, ay. Does he do that for the other side? Yeah, he does. That almost kind of feels like a bug. I don't believe the animation should be doing that, but yeah, nice, very casual. I love the profile as he walks off. Body's just getting flipped to 180. Notice how the chest goes first. The head is held in profile for 2 or 3 frames before rotating in. As we step away, nice face pose there, Rick. This is a wombo combo right here. Willing to bet the machete transforms to the hatchet in 1 frame. Yoink. Yep. During the foreshortening, they change it to the hatchet, which is a nice little trick. It's a good uppercut right here. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I felt something just a little tacky through here, but yeah, it looks like his path of action stops. His forearm rotates over his upper arm through here, and then he pushes it up through 2 frames right here. So it's kind of like a stop. When one pose is isolated and the other parts are just moving freely around the body, that's when it kind of feels a little stiff to me too. Since this move is happening so fast, you really don't notice it, but you actually feel a little bit mechanical through there as he pops, and locks. I love the follow-up attack as he's connecting to the ground. This is a little tricky, especially when the hand is wrapped firmly around the weapon and then having to rotate that wrist. It usually requires the animator to break the wrist in order to get that hand clear on top of the weapon. The trick to get around that is to actually move the hand around the weapon and then adjust the fingers in order to get that nice straight line. But in this case, the animators are hiding that breakage through the outside of the elbow through here, so you don't see match it into with the rest of this arm pose. I saw what you did there. I love how Jason hides his head behind these shoulders. And on the recovery, there's this nice little head reveal, like, boop, like I see you, bitch. And then this sleeping bag attack. Oh my God, I love this idea. I love how they incorporated this kill. This was a kill that Jason did in one of the earlier movies. But the fact is that you could capture the enemy within 1 frame into this bag. That way the animators can just get right down to business. Of course, you have a deformer on the bag to get the muffling, Oh, I didn't even realize he had his hands in the bag, kind of opening it up a little bit. I mean, I think if you were gonna go for that, really go for that, I would say cartoon that shit up. As you see like this giant hole emerge as he's coming down. Really take it to ho-ho land. Really like pull out all the stops when it comes to like grabbing and bagging that. And that way you get the giant twisty pop falling back down. What the hell is this? Popped up out of here, Batman. Oh, it's a little tie on top of it. Okay. I thought Batman was doing something in there trying to get out. I love the 1-arm drag. I love the overlap when it comes to changing these directions, and then we see the giant bag just overlapping. The great thing about this attack is he's actually moving with the bag. So from left to right, he switches hands just like the machete. We get like nice 2-frame read on this pose, followed by some nice follow through. And then when it comes to the attack, look at this nice stretch, baby. And then Jason flings this son of a bitch over his shoulders all the way up in the air like a sledgehammer at a carnival. I gotta play the game to see more of this attack. All this Marquis hiding all this bullshit so we can't get a good look at it. And again, walking with the bag as well too. And then he's got a Link super spin attack over here. Pivots on this hand. All the force is coming through this part of the body. The weight's not off balance because he's actually connected to this bag, which is countering his balance coming this way. So it makes sense. Leading with the giant chest. Like, his chest is perfect for this kind of move. Seeing the force and the weight as a giant V teeter-tottering around in this circle just makes for such clear pose and weight transfer exchange. Feels so damn good. Oh man, this is probably my favorite move of the bunch, which feels great. And then as he throws it, we're kind of losing the other hand due to this arm. This arm feels good, but they could just bring that other arm up just a little bit. That would make me a lot more happy just to kind of show him release it. He doesn't need to go out, stretch this far, like blah. Yeah, like even through this recovery too, the right arm is buried behind this giant left arm. And even through the recovery, we can't see it until right now too. So maybe they just separated it just a little bit more to kind of show you that offset. That would actually help this move out a lot. Player first games, you got me all the way up until the ending there. I love this attack. You could tell the Shoryuken was inspired for this. Jason gets into this nice, cool up air dash pose, again, utilizing the nice C-shaped curves. Steps into it too as well. And this is what I like to see, an extension of the hand. We see it in profile. It's leading the rest of the body. I think what they could really do is really utilize that shaper on the machete, where they're just dragging the shit out of it. Starting the machete here where it's nice in profile, going into a nice swipe a little bit earlier, maybe just a little bit of pose change through here. Nice big lead off into the top, even though we're not seeing where the machete is going. Really nice, good angles throughout here. It's hard to really see the machete due to this background being kind of the same gray and tonality, but it's not the character's fault, it's the levels. But again, nice, good follow through as Jason spins around. I love this nice little spin. Starts leading with the head, followed by the body, and the arm comes around, followed by the legs as Jason comes and lands down right here. Beautifully done attack right here. Sharp anticipation pose with a fast attack, followed by a nice smooth follow through. There's timing in this attack, there's texture in this attack, and there's nice curves and spinning all the way through. Just looks beautiful. Besides the sleeping bag, this is probably one of my favorite attacks that he does. So that's it for Jason Voorhees. This was awesome to review. I love the way that he looks, the way that he's moving around. I think overall, the design of the character really speaks volumes to how the animator is actually moving him around, which is really great. It's actually pushed and characterized the way that this game is set up. Multiverse is just overall a fun looking game, very colorful, lots of cast of characters. And seeing Jason back on the screen with the video game for the first time in a long time just brings a big smile to my face. The switch between the machete and the hatchet is really cool, while incorporating a bunch of things from the previous movies that they integrated into his attacks and his abilities, such as the sleeping bag, the bunk bed, and the teleportation as well too. There's a couple little weird kinks, bugs, strobe frames, and crazy holds that I didn't like too much. This is a quick rough 'em up smash type game where all these movements have to be quick and precise. Still, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to ignore those small kinks and bugs in your animation. Could be using a little bit more polish, but overall, I think the character's design looks good. His gameplay reads great. Some of his attacks feel really smooth. He's a big, heavy character. He feels strong. He feels massive when he's fighting. I think Jason checks all those boxes. So besides just the small posing issues, glitches and bugs and kinks in the animation here and there, overall, I had a fun time breaking down this animation. I'm gonna give Jason 5 machetes out of 6. No, that's dead meat. Sorry, that's another channel. 8 out of 10. Friday the 8th. Out of 10. I can't wait to get my murder hands on them. Start hacking. Multiversus back, baby. Player First Games has brought this back out of the oven, and it already looks delicious. I can't wait to play. Hey guys, if you like that animation breakdown, please subscribe to my channel. It helps my little animation channel out a lot, more than you'll ever know. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, notification, all that shit. If you'd like to see me do another animation or character, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. With that said, I'm Brad for show. See you in the next one.